I wanted guidance to understand my life and also to understand the world. And that is when I sat down in 1989 and started receiving that guidance from a place I hadn't imagined. I started doing automatic writing. I wanted to know why I was making choices that I didn't completely understand, and I knew that there was some guidance that I could probably receive if I would ask. And that's what I started doing. And I didn't know how I was going to receive it. I just was guided by someone else that talked about automatic writing, and I said, let me try that. Because I was moving through a big change in my life at that time. And I felt unstable, I felt insecure, and all of a sudden this information started coming through. But it was so different that I didn't trust it at first, and I certainly didn't tell others. I just knew it was changing me in some way, in ways I could not explain, and which is why I kept it hidden. And my introverted self would have kept it hidden probably forever until in 2008 when others started finding the information. And then I reluctantly started publishing it, having someone else publish it actually, because I was hiding. And then in 2020, I knew something was shifting, not just within me, but within our world. And I couldn't explain why I knew that, but it was very clear, and I knew exactly what was occurring and the shift that was happening, and I knew where it was happening, which I could not have explained to you then either. And you may have so many things in your life that you could not understand, could not explain, but I'm telling you, they had a reason and they had a purpose. And you uncover it, and that is the process of evolution that we each move through. And it is also the process that our world moves through as well. I did not imagine that I was going to be given a guide to help more people move through their evolution and also our world. And I kept denying it. But today I can no longer do that, which is why the message says, we gave you a guide. See, because in 2021, I was told that the information that I had received all of those years was meant to guide us to another level of our humankind, another level of higher consciousness, because that's what we do. We develop in our consciousness, and that happens over time, over civilizations. But me accepting that was the one who was given that was difficult. And then because of that, because I wasn't accepting who I was becoming, I started to have all these other difficulties in my life, mainly financial, because when you can't embody the energy and the of who you are, then the everything in the universe is energy, and so then you'll block it off. You'll stop it from coming to you because you don't want to see who you are. But see, now I have a plan, so you no longer have to do that. I'm Roger Burnley, and when I started receiving this information, I was doing something completely different. I was being a vocal coach, and I thought that was it. Then I discovered that this information I was receiving was organized, and it was organized not just for me, but for our world and for any person. If I were to meet someone, I was told I would have a message for them. I would been given a message on their birthday in 2012, which made no sense until it did, because I kept doing it and it was absolutely accurate. And so it was proving this idea that we've heard about the law of attraction is actually real. Again, we're dealing with energy and the understanding of it. And we pass on information to one another. And so we are moving through a change in consciousness in our world. And I was given a plan through Wilhelm to give to you so that we move to that higher state and you live this great life. And today was the day they wanted me to move forward so that I could be the example for more as what I was told I was meant to do. But I held back as you might have held back from what you were meant to do in this world. But today you might change because that's what I'm doing. There's a document there that shows what occurred for me, and I needed verification. because I would hear that I was a savant, and that made no sense to me. I kept denying it. But now you'll see that that was absolutely accurate, which is why I was meant to bring in this information to help many more and to help our world as well. That felt delusional and much too large, but it's actually proven to be true. There's nothing that's happening accidentally. We just figure it out at different times and in different ways, and we each have a role in figuring it out. And mine was to bring in this work to give it to so many others. I could never explain why at 75 years old that everything was healed and I'm going in a different direction. And I know that it was because of this work. But I must change also, which is what I'm doing today. And I looked at the message for tomorrow, and it said, not everyone will evolve. And that's my difficulty. I wanted everyone to reach that place and having this great life and to evolve, and that's not going to happen because that's not how our world works. We need the differences and the contrasts for some of us to decide that we will be the ones who will reach that higher state of consciousness and understanding that exists within us. And as you read the messages that were put together for February 6th, that will make much more sense because I received a quantum philosophy, meaning that I was accessing information from that quantum field, but it was organized and it was given to me on every single day. And that's something that's never been done in our human history. So that's another aspect that causes it difficult for others to accept, including me. But now I must, because when you don't accept who you become, it feels terrible. And the passageway is what you want to gaining the strength and understanding of your worth and value. And that's what this work come through me has given me. And so I'm accepting it today, and I hope you will as well. Please look and view the information, and you will feel so differently about yourself, and you'll understand the process of ascension or self-actualization and self-mastery that we each want. And now I was given that plan for you. I'll see you soon.